Windbag screaming words, hope you like the absurd. It's a dab of salt.
Welcome to the show. For the first topic of today...
We're not gonna introduce anybody.
Fuck!
You introduced people at the beginning.
Fuck, I'm sorry.
Fearless leader.
It's not my fault you wanted to go down with this ship. My name is Percy.
I'm Brad.
And I'm Chris.
Thank you. As I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted with Brad.
With pertinent information people need.
Incredibly rudely interrupted with pertinent information. The first thing I'm going to talk about today is a name. We do not have a name for this podcast yet, and I'm really interested to see what you guys have. As I said before, I was thinking about making this called Dog Soup, but that is where I put all of my fan art, and that's my public Twitter, so I can talk to people on Twitter that I like. And not feel like they're gonna see all the sad, depressing posts I put on my actual Twitter.
You just realize that if people actually like this podcast, they're gonna look for it now.
I have all the good art on there. It's like, okay, go look at my Tumblr light.
That's pretty much because you never use your Tumblr.
Well, not anymore, but
You use Facebook as your Tumblr.
I absolutely do.
Yeah.
So names again. Dog Soup is off the table. As much as I love that.
Can I suggest a name I haven't suggested before?
Can I trust you?
Dolphin's handgun.
Dolphin with a handgun is not happening, Chris.
I've suggested that.
Well, I like monkey spit.
Monkey spit is also completely not happening.
We need an animal and then something gross.
That's not
like a handgun.
Oh, what the monkey with a handgun?
That'd be monkey knife fight.
Oh my god.
Crab with a knife.
Crab with a cigarette. It'd be a cancer.
Cancer.
It's a cancer with
Cancer squared.
Yeah.
That
we
sounds
cancer squared.
This sounds like a really depressing medical podcast.
That sounds like what cancer evolves into once people become immune to normal cancer.
That's just death.
That both all of those have been really awful. Those have been really, really terrible.
Well, that's good timing.
Yeah.
See, that's the podcast backing up.
See, it is the podcast backing up. I'm gonna go close the window right here. You guys keep. We have to think of new things. What else?
This week's episode is brought to you by Trucks. They back up. They interrupt podcasts, and boy, they pay us money. No, they don't. They keep backing up. Trucks now available fucking everywhere. So now that we...
So that was the first ad of the podcast, everyone.
I'm pretty sure I did like twice on the last one.
For being sponsored, huh?
I'm probably gonna do like every podcast.
Another sponsor.
Which is a problem if you fucking like ever get sponsored.
Get
for
actual
this,
sponsors.
Then no one will know what's a real one. Like I'll have to actually say what's real.
I'm pretty sure the entirety of Trucks, the idea of Trucks, isn't going to sponsor us. So
I'm pretty sure the thought of Trucks.
Yeah. Welcome to Trucks, the podcast.
That's the car spinoff. It's about Mater.
Wow, that was great. So, any other ideas for the names?
Trucks. Just Trucks.
It's not happening.
Cage Rocks.
No! The reason Chris said that is because there's a Nick Cage pillow sitting next to me. You can't just point to shit in our living room and say, that's the podcast. A truck noise.
Cage irony.
Which would be funny.
Whose pillow is it? Whose pillow is it?
Is it yours?
Yeah, it is. I just want to take ownership of that pillow because I really like it.
Oh, for some reason, I look at this pillow and I keep thinking that it belonged to my ex, when in reality it was my ex that bought it for you.
No, yeah, they got it for me.
Yeah, that's why I always think that they left it here.
The best thing in your relationship of that was my gift that I got from them.
It is.
That's a great fucking pillow.
That is true. That, and I also got the master bedroom of our apartment out of it, so... but that's a story for another day.
Can we call this Spike Cast? Because that's what it sounds like right now.
Whoa! Saltcast! Sounds pretty good, too, because I'm sure I'll be salty about pretty much everything forever.
What about halite, guys? Halite is the natural form of salt. It's the brick it comes in! Where do you think we get salt?
What about dab of salt?
That is actually
dab of salt.
a dab of salt.
Exactly.
It's just like a picture of fucking like halite with like arms dabbing.
I kind of feel like a dab of salt.
All right, so that's
perfect.
That's actually one on the list now.
That was really fucking good. I gotta say that was
okay.
I'm clapping. That was really good.
So we have dab of salt is on the list.
Dab of salt.
Okay, let's keep it going.
Um,
We got one good one so
dab
far.
of salt. A crab with a cigarette.
We can go crab assault.
That sounds like assaulting crabs. Like crabs
No.
are assaulting
As
people,
in
and I don't like that.
No, crabs do assault people every day.
If you live on a beach.
Over 1 American dies of crabs every year. I'm talking about crustacean from the sea crabs.
Okay, so we're gonna shelve this conversation, and I think that dab of salt and/or something with crabs and knives. We're gonna keep those two on there. Next week we will continue this conversation.
It's like, no, I want to figure. I want to.
I personally,
trying to-
kind of think the dab of salt works pretty good.
Dab of salt is good.
A dab of salt, it works really good. It will completely date this podcast because in the future when people are like, oh, dabbing like the you mad bro of all memes,
No,
like,
it's just like a dab, like a little like pinch of salt in a meal.
well, I mean, there's that, but I also think it's funny because of
Only-
dabbing.
Yeah, and I thought about it as
I was supposed
a
to- yeah, me
dab
too.
Yeah,
of salt.
I'm
Thank
pretty sure
you.
we were all like on dabbing.
Yeah.
So
So I think that works pretty well.
it's like we like dab with salt in our hands. We throw in blinded kid.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine.
We blind children, the podcast. That is not on the list.
We call them blind kids.
We can't because that's awful. So I'm gonna say a dab of salt.
No, I got this on tip of my
Okay,
tongue.
look, we will continue
Okay,
this
alright.
because today I actually brought a topic of conversation. I brought
Okay.
2 topics actually, and I'll kind of like
Do you wanna-
throw them out there now.
All right, do you want to start one? We'll pick from that, and then we'll do another one.
Sure.
Okay.
So first, origin stories. How we all know each other, because
Oh.
I think that would be kind of funny. Just to talk about, so that people aren't like, who are these 3 random fucking weirdos? Because I was listening to our last podcast, and it's a 24-year-old, a 24-year-old, and a guy who was out when the premiere of In Living Color premiered. So, I think that it would be kind of funny to, like, figure out who the fuck are we, and, like, why are we actually in a room talking about stuff together. And then the second one is, I want to know about the worst D&D character we have ever made. Because I have Brad's.
I've only made 4.
I know, and one of them was the one
Wait,
that
wait,
I want
wait,
to talk
wait,
about.
wait, wait. All right, is it? Oh, I can't.
Okay,
I can't
D&D or role-playing.
I can't
I will say D&D or role-playing.
role
Any
playing.
sort of...
Role playing, I can give something for.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
So,
sure just...
Either one. Okay.
Just the edgiest, so
I think-
up to you guys. You guys
The
pick.
edgiest or just a crappy character or
You know, both. I feel like this...
Yeah.
I feel, honestly, that conversation could go on
So-
for a really long
talk about
time.
how old I am. I have been creating characters since for about 30 years. So there's a lot of shit in there.
You were out when Dungeons & Dragons premiered.
Yes.
So were you like making your character when the first man landed on the moon?
Like, that's a good idea. A moonwalker.
That's where Michael Jackson got his name, was from the D&D character.
Yeah.
Mikhail son, the dwarf.
That was... I hate you.
That sounds like an Asari.
It does sound like an Asari.
I'm Mikhail.
Okay,
He would have
stop.
been more gnomish or halfling-like.
Who would have been halfway?
Wait. Michael
Potentially
Jackson?
Elfish. Yeah.
I feel...
He'd be an
he is
elf.
definitely not
I think-
dwarfish.
I think he'd be
I
an
know,
elf. He'd be an elf.
I feel like an elf. I feel like,
Like-
when I think of
Like
Michael
a,
Jackson,
like
I
a
definitely...
high elf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eladrin, Brad. I think. I mean, that's the
No, I'm
same
talking
thing, right?
about elf that like is baked 24/7.
Like really high.
Yeah.
420 has the stutter.
Who, like,
shades.
Lotus.
Yeah, who like finds tree stars and just like blazes it all the time.
He's a hunter with his small friend Littlefoot, finding the tree stars and getting.
Did you see
mad
Littlefoot's
blasted.
eyes? He was annihilated that whole movie.
They were yellow. He had jaundice, not high.
It's the best high you could get at that time.
Jaundice? When do you think that movie was made? Like 1873?
I don't know, when was JFK killed?
I know, Chris, you were around for that, right?
Origin stories.
Okay,
Let's do that. That's a
um,
good starter.
Okay, cool. So, Chris married my mom. So that's how I know him. He.
Wait. Do we want to introduce our? Wait, how do we do this?
I will.
Are you just gonna mention everyone's origin story? And
Well,
how
I
they relate
mean,
to you?
I'll say that how they're related to me, and then I met you in high school,
Yeah.
and I was incredibly intimidated. So I met you in high school. You started dating someone that I was relatively close to, and then I became close to you.
And I was the janitor.
It's true.
Just watching.
Yep.
Like every
Sweeping the
sitcom,
floor.
just
That's
sitting there
Giving advice.
Right.
picking up trash. Damn kids.
Exactly.
And then he'd wink at us and fade away.
Yeah.
After you've
Or
done-
just stand there
Like-
weirdly,
Yeah.
thinking it's a freeze frame.
Like, like this is an episode of Goosebumps, and you're like the mysterious but knowledgeable janitor about the ghosts that haunt our school.
Yeah, you lick your eyeball and scale up a wall.
That's a gecko.
Goosebumps. No, I'm pretty sure it's a janitor.
Okay.
You never gone to PetSmart and see the janitors in the tanks?
Oh yes, of
Where they
course.
catch crickets?
Oh yes, the 5-scale janitors.
5 scaled.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? That's not a lizard either.
It's a
What
sad.
could be one that is
What?
really sick?
Say, what,
Yeah.
what are you actually talking about?
I don't know. I feel like this went on a little too long.
Okay.
I feel like unfortunately we ran the
Are you
janitor.
done or do you
bit.
have more to that?
No, I mean, like, do you guys have anything to say?
Well,
How?
Chris-
What's
Chris,
what's
you go.
yeah? What's your relation? Because I mean, you're my stepdad. I mean, there's not a whole lot of other information. You started dating my mom,
Yeah,
got
there's not
married.
much more room in there.
Yeah.
We could talk about how you guys started dating and then eventually got married.
We were nerds, and we met in a Star Wars group.
Nice.
True.
And
I-
that is
yeah.
pretty much all you need to know.
Do you want...
And now there are lightsabers in their house.
And your guys' wedding photos are pretty great.
There.
Yes,
Like the-
and there were stormtroopers in our wedding, and we did have Star Wars music during the wedding. So that is how horribly geeky
It is.
I
it is
am,
true.
and
Yeah.
in turn, your mother is.
Yep. Instead of cutting a wedding cake, they blew up a planet.
And it was lovely, and all celebrated.
Exactly. Except that planet, hundreds upon us. A
Was-
lot of people
Was
died.
it a moon?
No.
What do you mean hundreds upon hundreds? How many people do you think are in a planet?
Like a solid 100,000.
There's hundreds upon hundreds in like fucking Disneyland.
No. I'm pretty sure there's about, let's say, a solid million people on Earth.
Look, once you get past 2 hands, you stop counting and just say many.
There you go. See,
It's this many plus maybe 100.
it's true. So, origin stories. Brad,
And,
do you have anything to add to that?
Just for to make you guys make your family sound less geeky, Chris and Percy's family
luck.
also has a family WoW group. That is the most adorable thing.
Oh, we did.
And your guys' Christmas photos. Can we
Oh,
talk
God.
about those?
Oh yeah, go for it.
No, they're yeah, they have Pokemon Go Christmas photos, and they're amazing.
But that was just this
Like-
year.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah, this year, and like it's really, I really like it
Oh yeah.
because you guys like all like Pokemon Go, like you have like the red and like the blue and like the yellow.
Yep. I was the
And
only
it's
person
like,
on
you're the
Instinct.
only, you're the only
Of
yellow.
course. Yep. And then Chris's Valor, which is
Yep.
terrible. And then my mom was Mystic because she has good taste. Not good enough to be Instinct, but good enough taste.
I'm Instinct. I like Zapdos.
I like yellow.
I
I was like,
Zapdos.
I like the fact that his name was Spark.
Generally, I prefer blue, but then listening to everyone talk, the trainers, the red one spoke to me more. I had nothing to do with I wanted to be part of Team Valor. It
Yeah.
was just, they spoke to me more. In reality, I prefer the electric Pokemon over anything else.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
All
that
my-
sounds awesome.
all my favorite Pokemon in there are all yellow.
Huh.
Nice.
I didn't know that. What's your type?
My type of Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's usually either grass or electric.
Really?
I'm a big grass.
I knew that you were a grass person because you won't fucking shut up about Sceptile.
Oh, Sceptile's the fucking
Kill
best.
yourself.
Yeah, but like, yeah, no, electric Pokemon are dope.
Weird.
That's like almost, if not like just as much as like grass Pokemon. I love electric Pokemon.
If it looks like a dog.
Pretty
That's
much.
not
That's your
a
mother.
joke.
Um,
Yeah, I'm about to
yeah.
say I take after my mom. If it's cute, it's in my party. And seeing as how I do not play competitively, I just load all of my Pokemon with like the beef skills, like none of like the it'll increase your evasiveness. I'm like, fuck that shit. This
Yeah.
Pokemon will use tackle.
And there's usually a Stoutland somewhere.
Oh god, Stoutland is the fucking best. It's
Yeah.
a dog you can ride. It's like a horse and a dog had a baby.
Yeah.
Except
Like,
it's not as scary as horses, because horses are fucking terrifying.
Do you
I don't know
have-
if you guys have ever seen them. They're like 2,000 pounds of meat.
every time I see one, they're bigger than I thought they were. Like every single time. It could be 2 days apart.
Yeah,
Like,
that whole measuring of how many hands tall they are, that's bullshit.
yeah.
I don't know whose hands they were using, but
They're like three.
Ogre hands.
They're like 3 horse head talls because their faces are long as fuck.
Dude, they are so scary. I took one horseback riding lesson at Davis, and I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever done in my life. It was actually really fun, but actually taking care of a horse, they're terrifying. They're
Dude, their medicine upkeep is even like fucking weird.
Technically, I've been on a horse once in my life.
Same. Yeah.
But it has never actually moved forward. It moved down. It
Wait,
was.
Did it sink?
Did it die?
No, it was like a carnival. I don't even say it was like carnival. It was one of those like. We brought an animal. Come, kids, touch it. And growing up in the military, it was on base or something.
Yeah.
So it was like, hey, look, somebody has a horse. Don't you kids want to sit on it? So my brother and I got in line to sit on the horse. And by the time we got up to it, and they put us up on the horse, as soon as we were placed on the horse, and they were going to step back, like, now you're sitting on a horse. The horse either just said, fuck it, I'm done for the day, and just decided he was just going to lay down. So he just basically fell down, rolled over, and all the kids on him just fell off. And he was like, I'm done. Fuck you guys. It's over. So after that, I never touched the horse again. So like, they fall when you sit on them. So
They crumple
fuck
because they're
them.
weak.
That's the saddest horseback riding story I have heard. Anyways,
Sorry, not to tangent from origin stories and horse talk, but it made me curious when we started talking about Pokemon.
oh god
No,
damn it! I
no,
knew
no,
that bringing up
I
Pokemon
just
was
want
going to
a
be a bad
simple
idea.
question. Simple question. What's your favorite evolution? Because mine's Jolteon.
Oh, evolution. I thought you just meant evolution
No.
in general.
No.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Well, see, because I don't know all of them, because
just like
I
the
didn't
ones you
really,
know, yeah.
I didn't really get into Pokemon too
Yeah.
much, so
Yeah.
I don't know all that kind of things. And apparently, Eevee turns into every fucking thing on the face of the planet.
There are
They
7
do.
forms, yeah.
So the only ones I know are the 5 that are now currently in Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
5? Oh yeah, 'cause they add Umbreon
They
and
added-
Espeon.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like Umbreon because it's black and yellow and electric. So
Nice. Yeah. Wait,
Oh.
Umbreon? I think Umbreon's just dark type.
just dark type? I thought he was. Go
It
right
might,
here.
maybe it'll have an electric move. I actually don't know. I like Flareon because it's like a Pomeranian. Just like a big fire. You know what?
That's what I wanted
That
to
was
ask,
probably
yeah.
actually. I really like fire Pokemon. Like, because I love fire type Pokemon. Like, I think of every Pokemon that I ever loved, and it's like a fire type.
Like Volcanera.
Like I think it's Volcarona.
Volcarona.
Volcarona. I fucking love Typhlosion and Kolava and Cyndaquil. They are probably
Oh,
my
yeah.
favorite
You're a
starters
huge,
fucking
like,
ever.
you're a huge
They're like
Kolava
fire
person.
shrews. Is it? What is it?
Well, I forgot I named it, so I have to know.
I thought you were like Googling Umbreon.
Yeah.
Why would I do that? No, I'm just gonna pull up my Pokemon Go and then look at it.
There you go.
Because that works just the same.
Also, I'm sorry to lie to the audience. I just remembered there's 8 evolutions.
What are they?
There's.
I mean, I know there's Espeon.
Well, okay.
Just
so
whatever one did you forget?
Flareon. Well, there's Flareon,
Oh, no, you're right.
Vaporeon,
It's just dark. But
Yeah.
he's black and yellow, and I like that.
which is
I like
dope.
it too.
So there's Flareon, Vaporeon, Jolteon, Umbreon, Espeon, Glaceon, Leafeon, Sylveon.
Yeah. What's the 8th one then? That's not. That's
Percy.
no. That's fuck.
I counted to. I was pulling up fingers
Okay.
while I was doing
Math
it.
is not my strong point.
Jesus Christ.
Kill yourself.
So Flareon, Umbreon, and Jolteon. Those are our favorites. Okay.
Yep.
It's a simple question. Percy got worried because Pokemon's my favorite series.
I-
So I'm not going to talk about for yeah.
I've asked him to bring up, like, hey, bring a topic, and
Yeah.
he's like, Pokemon, and then fucking goes off on a Pokemon tangent. I was like, I was thinking, like,
Wait, when
let's
was
talk
that?
about pretzels. You totally were like, oh, let's talk about why, the first generation of Pokemon is popular. It's because they use different colors and simple shapes. Like, it was a really interesting conversation, but
yeah.
it was definitely, like, 15 to 20 minutes of Brad talking about. I was like, I can't do this.
No, Pokemon's cool.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Now that we went off Pokemon,
I like pretty colors.
the other topic then,
I didn't mention mine origin.
oh shit, well,
We started talking about Pokemon and horses that fall apart.
they break upon riding.
A collapsible
So-
IKEA horse.
Yes, you built it wrong.
Yeah, my origin story is that I was, back in my day, I was a wee lad who was awkward and had no friends in 10th grade. And so, Percy was the first person to acknowledge me in high school.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that sucks.
Because I came into, like, fucking Miss Page's class, and Miss Page was like, oh, take a seat. And I was like, shit, I don't have friends. How is this gonna work? And then, like, you recognize me from 9th grade. You're like, oh, sit over here. And I was like, oh. And I just went over and sat down. That's literally how I met everybody.
I'm gonna level with you.
I
In
know.
our friendship, you're the one who remembers things.
Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah.
I would not have remembered that. I literally thought it was like, oh, you started sitting with us at lunch that one time, right? Huh? Okay.
Yeah.
And then we hung out after 2012. That was...
So with me and Percy, how it works is that he will remember that we are friends. I will remember, like, a specific day and what time it was. Like, I'm really good with, like, remembering
Yeah,
shit
he's
like
like,
that.
there are 12 birds in the sky. I'm like, oh, whatever. So...
Birds fly?
Yeah, like, yeah, right?
Yeah. But that's literally how, like, I met everybody, and that's how, like, I met you. We knew each other in 9th grade, but I think, like, you were, like, black, but you're still really cool to me. And I was like... And I was just like, oh, they're quirky.
In 12th grade, I bet that's probably how I sounded too.
Yeah.
So.
And we both liked Jesus. That was weird.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah. And then
Not a
I met Chris after coming over to your house more. And then Chris was there. And I was like, oh, hey. And then, like, you're like, yeah, they're dating. And I was like, oh, okay. And then, like, yeah, that just stuck.
Yeah.
And I was like, Chris is cool.
Yeah. And now you're my dad.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The fungus approach. It's
Yeah.
growing you.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing I have ever heard in my life.
Yeah, so that's our origin story.
So
How we met.
there you go. So now you realize that we're not just three people who met at a bus stop and decided it'd be fun to start talking to each other on.
I'm not just some old guy who just hangs out with young people.
Yeah.
He didn't pick us up at a playground one day and decide to start recording things.
We met Chris on Minecraft.
Yeah. It was Craigslist ad, and need third person for podcast. So do you guys have topics? Because again, I think that the D&D topic could go on for a very long time because
We can run with that one.
We could run with that. I say let's do it.
Okay, run with that.
My topics aren't as good as that.
Okay.
So
Well, the reason I decided to use that topic of go for it. The reason I decided to use that topic is because I was thinking about writing characters and like stories and stuff like that, and I was like, oh man, I've written so many bad ones. And then I was thinking about like D&D because eventually we're gonna make a D&D campaign. And I was like, man, there have been so many bad D&D characters in my life. I think. It's probably gonna be hard for me to figure out like a bad D&D character because by the time I started making D&D characters, I was.
yeah, they're all great.
They weren't good. They weren't great, but they weren't like funny bad. They were just like, oh, you're boring. I did do a lot of role plays on Neopets, of characters that
shit.
already existed, and I also pretended I was Japanese.
That's right. You did tell me that.
I absolutely pretended I was Japanese
Because
on Neopets.
okay, can we talk about how I found that out?
Go for it, because I don't remember.
It was actually it's like within like the last few weeks.
Yes, go for it.
The reason I found that out is because I was talking about like when I was in high school, I was really, really weeby. Like I would write in Japanese, I would like draw anime, fucking Naruto was like my lord and savior, like fucking like
You mean Nolt?
no. Yeah. No.
God, not you two.
Yeah. I say no.
Sidebar.
No, was my
Talked to
favorite.
a guy at work who watches anime and stuff.
Okay.
Brought up the whole Baruto being called Bolt. He's like, yeah, that means Naruto is called Nolt.
God,
Really?
damn it!
Yes!
No!
That's awesome!
You're kidding me!
Nope.
That's fucking awesome!
I am.
He's like, I thought I was the only one who ever even thought that or correlated the two.
Oh my
He's
God.
Like, because that
Did you
just
tell him about me?
Yeah, I was like, actually.
Oh my god.
Because he had asked, did you do that podcast with your son Israel? I was like, yes, actually.
Oh
and
my
because he
God.
loves Naruto. So I was like, actually, that came up. And we
Oh.
were talking about Baruto. And he's like, oh, you mean Bolt? And I was like, yes. Which then came up to the topic of what Naruto's name is. And he's like, Nolt? And I was like, yeah.
That's fucking
I
awesome.
have never been more fucking angry in my life.
Oh my
I
God.
have never been angrier.
Confirmed. And oddest part about it is, confirmed by another black man.
Finally!
Fucking stop it! Stop
This
it!
is the beginning of the take.
Clearly the smarter people watching anime.
God!
Exactly.
Fucking damn it!
See, we think about anime when we watch it.
I hate this.
This is
I hate.
fucking great.
I'm canceling the podcast. It's done. It's over.
Okay.
That was the worst thing. Thank you, and also fuck you, Chris. That was the worst.
That's the best thing I've ever heard of.
God damn it.
So, Yeah.
Fucking end it right here.
So I was talking about how I was like super like weeby. I wrote in Japanese. I actually learned a lot of Japanese. I wanted to like teach English in Japan. But I was talking about how I never got to the stage of actually thinking I'm Japanese because I watched anime.
Oh.
I never had the thought in my head that like if I went to Japan, like, oh, it's going home. I've never thought that in my life. So I'm super thankful for that. Upon saying that, Percy, because I was like, dude, like, were you like that? And Percy's like, I pretend to be Japanese on Neopets. And didn't even brace me for that. He just fucking said it.
Well,
and I'm like, you have to, like, slow down. Because that's a lot to process.
okay, look, I was, like,
I didn't know you could,
homeschooled.
I didn't know you could talk to people on Neopets.
Yeah, man, they're, like, the roleplay forums. You could, like, email people on Neopets. Like, I was totally
no
like,
idea.
oh, I'm definitely Japanese, 100%. My name's Ed, because I was into Fullmetal Alchemist at the time. Like,
Oh my God.
dude, I was the worst. I ended up being in charge of a Neopets guild, for Kingdom Hearts, and they made me the president, and I think it was, like, Kyrie Killer Club, because I was in love with Sora from Kingdom Hearts, and I was the only person in it, and I can't leave it, and every time I go on my Neopets, it won't let me, like, leave it. Like, I guess because someone else may be the president, and then they left, but didn't give me the power to do anything in the guild. So, like, I have this guild that I'm stuck with that I've had since I was, like...
You're the eternal leader?
I am! And I can't leave it, and it's really... I mean, like, it's not like I fucking play Neopets anymore.
You should do something with it.
No!
You just started...
I can't! I literally can't. I don't have the ability to. She didn't give me like the what's it called, like the
rights.
Yeah, didn't give me like the rights. I don't have the I can't.
Get the copyright for it and do something with it.
I'm not gonna. No, stop. So
D&D and roleplay characters.
So D&D and roleplay characters. Aside from that terrible tangent about how I pretended to be Japanese and also Ed from Fullmetal Alchemist on Neopets. Most of the characters that I've made haven't been laughably funny. Unless you guys can tell me about characters that I've made, because I feel like it's always funnier from the outside hearing that characters are bad.
Well, speaking of Naruto, I remember a certain Shikamaru Nara had a cousin.
Okay, so thank you for that, because I would have just completely forgotten, because he is... Okay, so
He's
the
first, like, original character of yours I was introduced to.
Yes, the first original character of mine that still exists today
in some form
is named Toby Nara, and he was related to Shikamaru Nara from Nolt. So, yeah, and he was the worst, and continues to be the worst character probably I've ever made. In the first iterations, now he's just, like, a guy.
Do you remember... in, like, high school, there was the gay fairy who would make him gay.
Oh, my fucking God.
And he was trying to escape the gay village.
The
gay fairy caught him and made him gay, and he's like, damn it, I'm gay again.
Because I got really into yaoi back at that same amount of time.
Oh,
like,
yeah, you did.
I mean, like, when I didn't even want to go that far back, because that's just...
I was about to say...
That feels like a personal attack.
I was about to say, like, you're like...
This character's so bad it feels like a personal attack.
You're like getting, like, red in the face thinking about it. Like...
yeah, it's really that embarrassing. So I would say, okay, I put that forward as my worst character. Chris.
I know nothing about Chris's character, so this is interesting.
I don't have bad characters.
Listen, man. Don't lie to me, you're a
Every
nerd.
character I've ever made, it was great.
Well, okay, like, bad interactions, or stories from like, D&D campaigns of other people's characters. I want to talk about just bad characters.
Well, Jesus Christ. I mean, I admit, when I first started playing any type of role-playing game, I actually started, for me, I started making characters in Advanced Dungeons & Dragons by myself. Nobody ever played anywhere near me. I was always interested in it, loved it. Cartoons were out about it. I mean, everything. It was pop culture in the 80s. And I'd make characters nobody ever played. About the 7th grade, I actually met, at the time, I thought, a weird kid. Only because I met him in gym class. And when we, back in my day, before class started for gym, we all had to stand out on the, like, basketball court. They had these numbers on the ground, and everyone had to stand on the number because that was your number on the roll call. And then the coach, because they didn't call the PE teacher, he was coach, would come out and basically do roll call by looking at whose number was missing. and then just mark them as absent.
Weird.
Well, as he sat there, his name was Justin. He'd sit there and he'd make noises. He was just a sound effect machine.
He's a soundboard.
Yeah, pretty much. He would just do that. He'd make sounds of things. He'd pretend he was blasting off. He'd do like all kinds of shit and just be like loud. And you're just like, wow, that guy's like out there. And a couple of other friends I actually had made knew him, and they were all in GATE classes.
Yeah.
My friends were fucking nerds.
What's
They
a
were the
GATE
ones-
class?
GATE was like college prep, but above college prep. It was
yeah.
above college prep.
I had
It was
that.
like honors. This is what honors would have been versus
Weird.
college prep.
Yeah.
But it was called GATE. It was a GATE program. They had all been in it since they were elementary school, and now
Yeah.
it's junior high. So they were all in the excelled classes. And they're like, no, Justin's really cool. Justin's really fun. I was like, whatever, he's weird. And one day I was at a friend's house playing Nintendo. Yes, the original Nintendo.
Yeah.
And I
Well, no,
left
steam
his
powered.
house. Yeah. Where, you kind of had to run next to it to power.
Yeah.
And I was leaving his house, riding my bike home. And as I was doing it, Justin actually lived 4 houses down from that guy. And as I was riding my bike past him, another friend of mine who was affectionately known from everybody else in school as Scum Joe. And
Christ.
This sounds like a movie.
yes, Scum Joe, his name was actually just Joe, was on the, we'll say, the poorer side of the spectrum. So,
Scum Joe.
yes.
No
So,
way.
whereas people would say he had the smell of poor on him.
I mean, I know
Poor Scum Joe.
Yes.
I mean, literally, poor Scum Joe.
And he lived probably 2 blocks away from this area. Well, he was hanging out with Justin, and of course Justin was making his loud noises.
Yeah.
I was riding my bike by, hoping I could get by without anybody having noticed me, but then Joe called out my name and was like, hey, come over here. And I was like, great. Scum Joe and Weirdo. So I went over there, and they were playing the Robotech RPG game.
Yeah.
And Justin was like, have you ever played an RPG game? I was like, no. What the hell is an RPG game?
Yeah.
And he's like, a role-playing game. I was too stupid at the time to figure out that RPG stood for that.
Right.
So I was like, oh. And I was like, well, what are you guys playing? He said, Robotech. And I kind of remembered Robotech. It was on television when I was really young, like 81, 82 or something like that. And I remembered like Our Star Blazers, which was another one, kind of like that one. And I
I
was
don't
like,
even know what you're talking about.
yes. Older people will get it. But he was like, you should play it. I was like, I don't know. I was on my way home. I don't know. He's like, oh, come on. It's really fun. You get to be in a transforming airplane. I loved Starscream from Transformers. I was like, great.
Yeah.
Fucking sounds amazing. Let's do this.
I love Starscream.
And started playing. From that moment on, Justin and I became like best friends from there on out. And for the next, 2.5, 3 years, every single day after school, we would go to Justin's house and play any type of role-playing game. A few friends that we went to school with and we were all mutual friends with, they decided to come over and start playing too. So we ended up having a campaign that lasted like 2.5 years.
Did anyone die?
Oh God, yes. We died brutally. I mean, I had a character die probably in the 8th grade. And I remember crying that my character had died.
Was it a home invader?
What the? You know what? I could not. Okay, so here's the thing with me, because I mentioned earlier I want to make a D&D game. I hate the idea of dying in a game. I'm like, we need to have save points. We need to be able to rewind the time. Like, I hate that. And I've heard stories you've told about your people, like, playing games and how you guys just wanted to just fucking destroy each other. I could not play that way. I would cry. I don't feel like... I feel like I get way too attached to characters to...
I'm the same way. When I create a character,
Yeah.
I invest so much mental energy into this character that each character I create has an emotional level, a mental level, everything. Every character is a fully formed, in my head person.
Yeah.
Because without that life in that character is just paper. But you killed
How
something
did he die? Do you
created.
remember?
Holy shit. No. I mean, once that character died, it was fast and furious. Like, never ending after that.
Really?
Because after I cried and got made fun of by all my friends, that was the end of crying ever again for a character dying. Now I was like, fuck all of you. And I can't wait till your character dies. And I'm going to make fun of you. And I'm never going to care about another one of my characters again. So fuck them, you know? And,
You're going to start throwing sand in everyone's eyes every time a character dies.
That character, God, I'm trying to remember even what that character was. That
means they're truly dead if you don't remember.
Yeah,
exactly.
Now they've really died.
That's how traumatic it was that I blocked that character from my memory.
I feel like sometime in the future you'll be making another D&D character and it'll just like immediately just like come to you as though in a dream and you'll just start weeping at your computer.
Could you imagine if, like...
the dogs start howling.
Could you imagine if, like, Toby Nara died in his cousin's arms?
Could you stop?
And the village has a funeral for him.
I need you to never bring him up.
And Naruto cries with a clenched fist.
I can remember one character dying. It was... Okay, here comes the age thing again. It was probably 1991. I know that because it's when the Kevin Costner Robin Hood movie came out. I had created a character kind of based off of Will. I created a character. We used to roll our own stats. So we had 4 dice 6. You had to roll. Which your
sounds
stats.
Awful.
The saving grace
Natural
was
4
with Justin, and then later on when other people became the DM because Justin moved away.
Yeah.
Go Justin. He became great. For a while there, because everyone started rolling real shitty, we started doing 6 dice 6, remove the 2 worst ones. So you can get some pretty decent stats. I still rolled like shit all the time.
Yeah.
Like if everyone else had 16s on all their stats, I had 10s, 11s, and maybe a 13. So all my characters were pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And we rolled characters for this game, and I think my lowest stat on that character was a 16. Everything was either an 18 or 17.
Damn.
And I was like, I
sounds cheap
finally
as hell.
did it. Like, I finally made it. I'm going to have a good character.
You made a demigod.
Right?
And so Justin's punishment for me doing well was everybody else got to start out as a group, and he was decided that my character would start out having been captured and they would rescue him. So they all got to start with their armor and weapons. My character was in a pair of pants and in shackles, and he was before like he was being interrogated or being held by the guards, and they broke in to rescue him, and their attempt to rescue him was they ran in, cut off his shackles, and then proceeded to move away from him, although he was surrounded by the guards, and now he was free with no weapons and no armor. And so their first turn was,
fuck?
All right, we'll just stab the prisoner. So they killed me in one round, and then everyone else was like,
my God.
Sorry, time to roll a new character. And I was like, but he had all good stats.
Literally,
Like,
why would they do that?
Did you say-
Why, like, if you were gonna actually play a fucking game like that, just be like, everyone start out with a shitty character. Like, what the fuck is the point of having the possibility of having a good character if you have friends that will tell you no? Like, what the fuck?
Did you say that Justin's doing good now in a better place because you choked him to death right after that? With your bare hands?
Is he in
no,
heaven?
Justin, when he left, then I was at the mercy of whoever was going to take over as DM now, which was a friend of mine that was a rules lawyer in the fact that he didn't want everyone to play the game right. He wanted to bend the rules to his favor and use them for his benefit. So you were fucked, but he was coming out like roses. And
Well, he was the DM?
yes.
Like, what the fuck kind of DM is like, I want to win? Like, what does that entail? Like, what does that mean?
Well,
I want to be so unfun. No one can do this.
Well,
I feel like it's just writing at that point.
Yeah, right?
For
Just like
yourself.
write a fucking book.
and,
you
well,
dick.
the only thing I can say about in fairness, because there was none, but in fairness as a theme is he stepped up to be DM. Nobody else wanted to be a DM. You're kind of at the mercy of he who is willing to run it.
Mm-hmm.
And then even it parlayed into like I would buy adventures and then like I'll go lead adventures, like kind of what we used to do when I kind of introduced you into D&D and stuff.
Yeah.
Like we'll run adventures from written programs and stuff. We found some great ones.
Yeah.
But he would still bend rules and be a rules lawyer, and all of a sudden his character's God because he's used all those.
He also had a character in it?
Yeah. So
He sounds like a really
It's
a bad DM. He sounds like a bad DM.
This reminds me of if I can mention a D&D story really quick.
Oh, please.
do it.
Of when me, Percy, one of Percy's exes, and our roommate Quinn all played a D&D game. And we did just like of spur of the moment. So it was fucking Overwatch characters.
No, that was it was on New Year's. We were continuing the tradition. We played last year for the beginning of 2017. We played D&D.
So we could do like a New Year's D&D, and we're like, okay, do characters. And I was like, should I do a D&D character? Should I like do like something else? And then like Quinn immediately was like, Junkrat.
And mind you, it's
character.
because we were all kind of drinking at this point too.
Yeah.
And no one could choose. Quinn was like, oh, Overwatch. I was like,
And so I was like, alright, I'll do Genji, and then Percy's ex was like, oh, Farah. And, which is unimportant who we picked, because the most notable thing that happened in that was that Quinn had Junkrat use the urinal.
Well, we were in a bazaar. Okay, you have to describe the scene.
We were in a bazaar. I call it bazaar because you call it a bazaar, and I don't know why
I don't call it a
that.
bazaar. I call it a bazaar.
Yeah, you say it way dumber than what I just said.
Fight me? Continue.
We were in a bazaar, and then we were like, oh, we need to fucking look for something because we're on a mission. Who cares? When Junkrat was in a urinal, just peeing, and then...
It wasn't a urinal. He was like, I want to pee right here, right now. I'm like, there are people around you. No!
Okay,
I think the reason I was pissed off is because we were outside.
We were
next
outside.
to people. There were humans with their children around.
We were outside, and Quinn was drunk, was like, he pees. And it's like, where? He pees. And so I was like, alright, he pees. And Percy's like, well, someone sees you. And Quinn's like, I want to roll.
No! I said, Quinn, in order to pee, you have to roll for it. I was like, Quinn, you have to roll for this. You can't just piss in the middle of a marketplace. There are people around. You can't do this. And literally, there was no way for Quinn to not be seen. Quinn was pulling their fucking dick out and pissing next to a fucking stall.
And that's the beauty of it. Also, for one, this is the first time you've like remembered something way better than me.
Because I wasn't drinking.
But like, yeah. So Quinn was gonna pull out their dick and just pee in the middle of this bazaar, and Percy's like, someone's gonna see your dick, roll for it. And Quinn rolled a 20.
Fucking 20.
Which basically meant that Percy's like, someone walks up to you and gives you $20 once they see your dick.
That was how we started our
Quinn's
new year.
dick was so big and nice. They got $20 for whipping out to pee in public. I imagined your DM had that character whose dick was so nice, people gave $20 when they saw it.
Well,
your character was
not like that, but mind you, when we started playing role-playing games, it was 5, I don't want to call them guys, 5 adolescent boys playing a game. So,
5 grubs.
A hidden stat on your character sheet was your penis size. And
which would add or detract to your athletics.
And charisma.
Definitely charisma. But how you rolled that stat, it wasn't like your normal stat rolling. That one was done with a 20-sided dice, which anatomically makes no sense, because now you can go from anywhere from 1 to 20 inches. And at the time, my friend Jason found out they made a 30-sided die. So he bought one of those. So then we switched that stat to the 30-sided die.
That's an inconvenience at some point.
I feel like the only way that could be a boon to your character if they lost a leg and had a 30-inch dick and could use that also as a leg.
I feel like they'd wrap it around the waist like a Super Saiyan.
Yeah, literally.
They have to.
Fucking tail.
And much like magical fantasy, for some reason, the moment you put your pants on, it disappeared. So there was no hindrance whatsoever.
Like disappeared entirely?
like a Ken doll, just...
Yeah.
These are the pants of hiding your giant schlong.
But yes, that was rolled for. So
that is
and sometimes
amazing.
that stat, amongst 5
pubescent children,
yes, was like the most important one, and everyone stood around to roll for that one.
You got to make sure you didn't cheat on that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You got it too. You keep that fucking 2.
Can you get saving throws on that?
Well, Generally,
Do
we
you get
allowed
advantage, disadvantage? I mean, how does that work?
Generally, we allowed for 2 saving throws total for all of your stats. So if you wanted to save it for your penis roll, you could.
Means you could be stupid and trip over everything, but if you had a fat dick, like, if that's what matters to you, you could do that.
I used both of my saving dice on my dick size.
Yep. I'm gonna throw it over my shoulder and walk down the street. Trump any
People will
charisma stat I have.
hand me money because they see my
You don't even
big
need a weapon.
wiener.
You could just club goblins with it.
So yes, looking back, I'm like
Swinging around.
that made perfect sense and no sense whatsoever.
That sounds amazing.
Imagine being a dwarf with a 30-inch dick.
It's as tall as you are.
That'd be the tallest thing on this body.
We even had rules for sex in that game. We transferred that rule into every game.
Oh, the
and
universal sex rule of D&D.
pretty much. And it was, if you were having sex in the role-playing game, it was you versus the DM on 20-sided dice rolls.
What happens if they lose? They hit you in the face with a pie?
Well,
You rolled a 1. You shit yourself.
Well, that would have probably escalated later. Obviously, once we hit high school, we removed the sex from the game.
Yeah,
But
yeah, you're mature now.
Yeah.
But 7th and 8th
Now
grade,
it's weird to be in a bunch of rooms with 5 dudes rolling about sex.
Exactly. So
Damn.
it was what we called it knockout. So if
Did you donkey punch people in this game?
apparently, because if you got a 19 or 20, you automatically won or knocked the other person out.
I like that it's Yahtzee and sex at the same time.
Knock the person out during sex?
Yes.
Like a Twilight book.
I was like you roll a 20 and choke them to death? How do you knock
Well,
them out?
again, clearly,
Plus your modifier. If you get over 20, it's like blackjack.
clearly
You accidentally
not
kill
thinking
them.
about it too much.
I was like, was high school like, oh, when you have good sex, it's so good they pass out?
Yeah. Yeah, obviously.
Pretty much, I think that was the premise of the sex.
I feel like they'd have to be, otherwise it's just like you punch them between the eyes and they black out.
Anything below a 1 or over a 20, you murder the person you're
Like,
sleeping
it has to be that mindset, otherwise it's a crime.
with. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Like a succubus.
At least
Right.
in the games, it was always consensual. So
Okay.
That is the funniest shit. I don't think I have ever played D&D where we've even gotten so far as to even joke play around that. Because for the most part, every time I've started a D&D campaign, it's been like, we get 4 hours in, people have burned down the inn they were supposed to meet up and do something with. So we're 3 hours in, everything's blown up, someone's gotten $20 because he got a big dick, and I quit. So that's been my experience so far.
I feel like every time we play D&D, someone hits on a bartender.
Always.
Always. And so we always...
Because we always start at a bar.
It's like, you always start us in the bar, and someone always says, I'm going for it with the bartender for more drinks.
Always. I've never not had that happen. I always start in a bar because it's really easy to be like, someone walks in and calls all the adventurers. Now you're a team. It's a really easy origin story.
I think I remember a game we were playing. I think was it one of our New Year's games where you and your mom assaulted the bartender or the barmaid in the bar, and
Did we like
'Cause
drag
you're-
them outside
yeah.
or some shit like that? Yeah, because
you were
we
trying
actually...
to get some information.
Yes!
Just like, I hit him.
Oh my god, I remember that because I tried to make... Yeah, because I made a character and I was trying to make
Was
him
he in
diplomatic.
peril? Like, was he
It was
screaming?
Lilithane, so I had a really
What
gay
was-
elf.
It's a bard! Why was the bard dragging a bartender around?
I think I was trying to use diplomacy or some shit like that, and I did it really badly, so it ended up being like, I just offended them, and then Mom tried to help, and her character also sucked. So, yeah, and I think we had to drag the body outside, and like, rather than actually like, do the quest we were supposed to, we like, ran away from the guards or some shit like that. Yeah.
You need
it's fucking
information
good
and
times.
buried a body instead.
Yeah. We could have just stalked his Facebook page, and instead, he ended up thrown in a ditch.
Yeah, that's his business on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's coffin.
Status update. Dead.
Which is
These
too much because
location tracking.
I'm pretty sure you didn't even give him a coffin.
No, I don't think we killed him, but we definitely probably left him to bleed out a little bit.
So, wait, I have a question.
Answer?
So, we talked about your guys' origins. You said you could think of a character for me, a D&D. I don't know who
Okay,
you're talking about.
so I decided a while ago that I wanted to make a Mass Effect role-playing game.
Oh
I
my
was
god!
Like, and so I was like,
Oh my
I was like,
god!
you know what? I took D&D rules and I made it into Mass
Oh,
Effect. And I was
no!
like, I am so excited for this. I'm going to get my friends to do this. We made Drell and Quarry and it was really exciting. Well, Brad, at the time, he was just a bad person at the time. So, his character's
can I
name.
the premise?
I just want to tell them
okay.
what I found, and then you
Okay,
can.
okay.
So
Okay.
his character's name was Bastille Rain,
No,
and we called him Steel Rain.
Bastille Reigns.
Rain with an S. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Bastille Rain. So we nicknamed him Steel Rains. Steel Rains. He was a human alliance soldier. So essentially the warrior. He was like and you know what? No sass, no shade to warriors. He was the most basic ass warrior. Like, picture a warrior in your head. No accoutrements, nothing fancy, nothing special. That was Bastille Reigns.
Like, if this roleplay was a movie, he'd be played by Matt Damon.
Don't insult Matt Damon like that, okay? Like, I mean...
Yeah, he's got full range. He can play Asian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, he's the Scarlett Johansson of this roleplay.
Oh, God. Bastille Reigns was probably the least memorable and most funny character.
My God.
Because there was nothing interesting about this character aside from the fact that his name was Steel Reigns. And, like, Brad was, like, serious about it, so I didn't feel comfortable making fun of him that much because it was, like, a character he'd actually brought and was trying to play. But on top of the fact that it was, like, I am a warrior, and, like, your name was fucking Steel Reigns, I could not. It was really bad.
Okay.
We only played that game once.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's a random question.
Go for it.
When you hear somebody tell you that they've created a character,
Yeah.
and say Percy just said, "Oh well, Percy's gonna be a bad example because who knows what the fuck."
I know.
But okay, if I were to come to you and say, "I made a dwarf fighter," would you immediately just think that that fighter is white?
Yeah.
I'd
for
imagine
me-
him white but really dirty.
So, but I mean, and conversely, if Brad makes a character, do you immediately picture his character as being white?
No.
No.
With anything.
Bastille Reigns,
Literally
like,
anything.
Bastille Reigns, the human alliance soldier, I'm pretty sure is like, you know he's white from the description.
His name.
From how shitty I also was at playing D&D.
Oh, yeah.
But like, and not to say that if you have a white character, you're shitty. It's just that I was shitty for, like, okay, let me give the premise for this. Can I give the premise? So for this
Yes.
Mass Effect roleplay, the most important fact to know is that I had never played Mass Effect.
And he fucking told me he had. So I
Yeah,
made
okay,
this
so here's
under
the
the
thing.
assumption that Brad had played this game.
Here's the thing, I have no defense for that. What I did when I was younger is that all my friends were into
Lie?
these... yes. Oh, abso-fucking-lutely. All my friends were into these things. And I was like, I'm not even joking, the poorest person at my school. So I couldn't get into these things with people. And so, like, when Percy's like, oh, yeah, fucking Mass Effect. Because I think, like, when I started hearing about Mass Effect, like, 2 had just come out. And that's when Percy was, like, really high, like, oh, fucking Mass Effect, like,
So
it's
into
awesome. And I started seeing, like, review shows talk about it. But, like, I didn't have it, obviously. Like, I didn't get a console till 2014. That's when I bought my own console. Fucking poor.
Was that the Wii U?
No, it's the 360, fucking
Okay.
pleb. So, like...
Just called me a pleb.
yeah, that was really real. I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry, thank you.
But yeah, so I never played Mass Effect because I fucking didn't have opportunities to get into things that my friends played. So I would just lie. So they'd be like, "You play Mass Effect?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, fucking Mirando, right?"
Mirando with an O.
Yeah, Mirando Calrissian. Because I heard people talk about like Miranda's romance. So I was like, "Oh, Miranda, it's a hard romance." Yeah, aliens. Man, sex is cool.
That's exactly what he sounded like in high school too.
Yeah, he's fucking... So, I wasn't into anything, but I was embarrassed I wasn't into anything, because I couldn't be. So I lied about being into Mass Effect. So Britt's like, would you want to do a Mass Effect roleplay? Like, oh, D&D thing. And I was like, yeah, sure. And you're like, and I didn't want to ask what races it were, because I know there were races. And you're like, oh, these races. And I'm like, fuck! Like,
What does that mean?
Because, like, oh, there's these turrets, like, they're like bird lizard people, and I'm like, I don't know how to even think about what that looks like. You mentioned 2 different animals. And you're like, oh, there's like Krogan, but they suck. And I'm like, well, what do Krogan look like? It's like fucking big, toady, fucking turtly looking. I'm like, what does it? I had no idea because I didn't know what these fucking things look like. And as you can tell from the last podcast, we talked about Andromeda for like 30 years. So now I fucking love Mass Effect. But at the time I didn't. So I was like, I'm gonna pick human because that's safe. Also around the time is when I definitely picked, like, I had this character. He's a warrior. He uses a sword. And he is lawful good.
He's the paladin. He helps people.
I considered myself creative for a long time. Can you believe that atrocity?
Oh, yeah. No.
I'm not saying if you make a warrior who's lawful good, you're not creative. I'm just saying it's a default. You can do it well.
If that's your only character, it's a problem. I think
if
that's
that's your one-trick pony, that's not good.
Exactly.
If you're just like, I want to make like a warrior who's like lawful good, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just sucked.
It's like, no, there's never a good reason for creating anything lawful good.
Javert, if I wanted to do a Les Mis role-playing
Javert
game...
is not lawful good.
He kills himself because he couldn't figure out whether or not Jean Valjean was a good person, because if you went to prison, you had to be bad. Brad, don't fucking do this to me. Don't go there with me.
No.
Javert is the epitome of lawful good.
He's true neutral.
I want you to jump off the fucking bridge, okay? And if you don't sing a beautiful
Can I
song,
sing
I'll kill
while I
you
do it?
before and then push you in.
Yeah, so I made this character.
I
was
agree,
like,
there is no reason to have a lawful good character.
Yeah, no. So, I definitely like working in neutral for my characters now. It's so fun. But
I
like chaotic.
Yeah, I was always chaotic neutral.
I love
so I could do whatever
chaotic
the fuck I
neutral.
want to.
Yeah.
And randomly, and it just fit.
Yeah.
I
No,
like
same.
chaotic good, because I'm like, I'm Batman, but gay. So I'm like, nice.
So I made this character, and I was like, oh, I need to think of a fucking badass name. I always like the name like Reigns. It's Reines. I was like, Reigns is a cool name, and I was like, Bastille. And thinking about it now, I'm like, oh no. At the time, when I came up with that name, it was like, you could probably see a light bulb above my head, and I was like, fuck yeah.
You just
Like-
made Vega.
Yeah.
Oh,
my
God.
Dude, if I came
You
up,
literally made James
if I
Vega.
came up with the name James Vega, I'd be like, oh, that's sick.
Oh, I
Dude,
can't believe
badass.
No.
Freddie Prinze Jr. played Bastille Reigns.
If Blizzard at the time was like, we need characters for this thing called Overwatch, we can take fantasy missions, I'd be the kid who's like, his name's Reaper, he has shotguns. That'd be me. So I made this character called Bastille Reigns, who was like edgy and like didn't agree with authority, and a human soldier, and he had a stubble and short brown hair.
Literally, like the
Every-
most basic character. And again, I want to reiterate, I will make fun of male human warriors until the day I die, but only because I feel like people use that as a default. And I do think it's funny that you brought up the whole white thing, because I feel like it is a pitfall for people to be like, yes, white mate, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
I can't speak words.
Well, I feel like that's also
White male warrior.
And that's a media thing too, you know?
I
like when you see in fantasy.
Totally.
I will say, like, there's good, like, white male warriors.
Absolutely.
Fucking Aragon, Lord of the Rings.
Aragorn, but continue.
Aragon.
Aragorn
the
was
dragon. The blue dragon from Lord of the Rings.
Saphira.
No,
was
it's a blue dragon. It's a blue dragon from Land Before Time.
Little.
Damn it! So
Petrie and Ducky and Saphira and Aragorn
I forgot.
go on
Yeah,
a D&D
okay,
mission
so fucking-
together.
I read the first third of the book Aragon. Anyway,
I read them all and they were really awful.
so yeah,
regardless.
Aragorn. Yeah, he's fucking cool. And
Awesome.
Like, yeah, like
Totally.
You can do it.
Absolutely.
I'm saying this because I'm not mean to throw shade at who you pick as a class.
Totally.
It just it's a default, so just do it well.
Yeah.
Like Aragorn is a good character, and like you have these other like male warrior types, like fucking Shepherd.
James Vega. And don't, but Shepard is a lady.
Well, no, I mean, like, if it's a guy, like, Shepard can still be a good character.
Oh, yeah.
But also, like, James Vega, don't bring, he's awful. Don't say James Vega.
He is good for his stereotype, which is a meat shield
Just-
warrior.
just-
That's what he is, and they tailored him to that role.
Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say about James Vega, though. If that's what they were going for, they nailed it. I can say I don't think that's what they were going for.
No.
I think they wanted a deeper character, and then didn't. Because here's how I know it's a deeper character.
Because there's a movie.
No, I was gonna bring that up. So people who don't,
see it?
here's the thing: for people who don't know Mass Effect, you can kind of get a
The
gauge.
short?
You kind of get a gauge of who James Vega is. Just really meaty military. He does pull-ups. You can challenge him to a pull-up contest. I shit you not, and you get no reward for beating him. He's that character. He has a Funimation anime movie about
Oh.
himself.
It is.
And if you think it's well drawn, think again.
It is
It's
fucking abhorrent. Have you really never seen that whole movie?
No.
I think we put it on as a
It
joke.
was-
It was.
I watched some of it.
we put on as a
Like,
joke
okay,
and watched
good
the
enough.
whole
It
thing.
was literally. I mean, it was.
And
If I can use the term, an abortion. It was an abortion of a movie. It
Well,
was.
that is literally incorrect because they brought it to term.
yeah, it was just a shitty
Fuck.
kid.
It was. An
It was
abortion.
a kid with a monster tattoo. Like,
It was born with an Ed Hardy shirt on.
Well, doesn't
It
he
was-
have tribal tattoos?
He does. I think. He
Hardy?
might have had it on.
oh no, I thought you were talking about Tom Hardy. I was like, oh, I like him though.
Tom Hardy.
Bane, and also he's in Inception and stuff.
Oh, Mad Max.
Yeah.
I have a
Yeah,
vendetta.
Mad Max too.
I have a vendetta against Tom Hardy
Dude.
because another one of my exes
I
is like,
know.
"Oh my god, Tom Hardy." I'm like,
Do,
"Stop it."
Do you know
Do you know how many fucking Bane impressions I have to go through because of fucking Tom Hardy?
and me?
No. Yeah, I know. You're the
Yeah.
reason I hate Bane impressions.
So I do two voices. One is a goblin I can't say on the podcast until maybe later, and then the other is Bane. This is like the only two voices I can
Yeah.
do. But also,
Right, yeah, that's it.
But-
That's it.
but actually, fun fact. Do you know why Bane? Well, do you know why Tom Hardy wears a mask in Batman and in Mad Max? And so people don't kiss him because you look at his lips and you
Will
want
you
to kiss him.
stop it?
Look at his lips.
Stop it.
He has the most kissable lips.
No one thinks that.
They're always puckered, ready for a smooch.
Maybe he just is always trying to hold in a fart, dude. Maybe that's it.
That's
Maybe
not how
it's
you
just-
look. Do you fucking hold in farts when you want to kiss someone?
Well, maybe I'm like, I pucker my lips when I'm like, I can't fart right now, or I'm mad.
Every time they play him without a mask, they play a light track of "Kiss the Girl" from Little Mermaid in the background.
I don't think you've seen many Ted Hardy.
I've seen all three of them.
Fuck.
Okay.
I literally.
It's like you think I haven't seen any Tim Tebow films?
Who the fuck is that?
He plays, sports.
I really don't know who that is.
He plays football.
Well, we were talking about how bad the Mass Effect movie was, and I think everyone
Yeah.
can agree every movie BioWare has made is a goddamn nightmare because Secret of Truth with Cassandra was a fucking disaster. I will give it credit. You know what? No, I won't. It was bad. It was really bad. They shouldn't have done that. And then the James Vega movie was a fucking disaster. It was so ugly.
Now,
I wanted to kill
do
myself.
Do you count was it Geek and Sundry who put it out? The
I know
Felicia Day Dragon Age thing. Does
Oh.
that count as BioWare?
Not only that, but the DLC.
The DLC was at least playable.
Hawk stepped in the poopy. That was the line Fenris said with his mouth.
Only if you bring Fenris, which I
BioWare made people listen to Fenris say Hawk stepped in the poopy. And you know what? The voice actor sounded like he could hear his career shattering. He knew.
Hey, that man went on to do a lot of things, such as be every soldier in Skyrim, and do a lot of voices in Guild
Like, do you
Wars.
ever hear
Gideon Emery, that's his
Do you
name.
ever hear someone be bound by a contract as much as being forced to say Hawk stepped in the poopy?
I think
Someone said that in a game.
I think the thing that we need to focus on is how funny the Canary looked in that video. Because have you ever actually watched it?
I've never seen this.
I will pull it up
I know
after
what
we're
Geek and
done
Sundry is,
watching
but-
this. I have no idea what that is. But I do know that I watched it and was like, I have cosplayed armor better than some of the shit that they made. So I remember thinking that, and I remember thinking that those Kunari were probably the fucking stupidest things I've ever seen in my life. Because they were like, Kunari, they have big heads, right? Let's get the skinniest Smallman to have this big, gross Kunari head. Because I remember in, the first episode, it's this big-headed Kunari
what, a
man
helmet
with this,
or something?
it was like a helmet of a face. So,
Like
the
a mascot?
No, it was like the Kunari face that they put on it would have been great on,
You're talking about a mascot.
I mean, yeah, well, no, because my thing is, the bodies were kept small, so, they didn't
And
try
they were the actual bodies, right?
Well, my thing is, yeah,
And
so
they
it was
wore
like
fake heads.
it was like,
You're talking about a mascot!
pretty much. I'll show it to you, because, you know, the first episode, it's, this really
I only watched
skinny...
part of one and was like, okay, I'm done with this.
It was just a really skinny man in gray paint with a huge canary head. Like, they were like, make his jaw bigger, give him big horns, make sure that his forehead reaches the ceiling. And it's on this skinny guy who kind of looks like Danny Sexbang, except wearing a canary mask. So just imagine a gangly, spindly man with a big head and horns trying to be, like, scary. It's like, bruh, I'm pretty sure, like a stiff breeze could knock your ass over, mostly because you're really fucking top heavy.
What if it was like a really hungry canary?
It was probably him. He was probably the hungry canary.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what if he was a really hungry canary?
And
like,
you know
he
what?
just didn't have his food. He needs some protein. He needs some tuna and some chicken.
Man.
Why don't you consider that when you make fun of skinny canary?
Well, his head should have been skinny too, then.
Exactly.
Listen, man.
Canary are like camels. They keep all their
nutrients
nutritious meats.
All the
in
nutrients
their
need to
head.
go to your head because that's what keeps you alive.
Oh,
That's why Jimmy Neutron is dying of starvation.
Wow, dude, you took that to like a real.
Every time he has a brain blast, he burns
That
1,000
was like
calories and has to be resuscitated.
you went to like we were having a conversation that was funny and you.
How do you not know your Jimmy Neutron lore? Wait, can I actually ask a real question? What alignment do you think Jimmy Neutron is? Is he neutral because it's Neutron?
Okay, Chris, I want to hear what knowledge do you have to fucking shed on this conversation? Because I gotta tell you, I'm fucking stumped. I am fucking stumped. I don't know where to go with this.
I think like he's.
Boy howdy, I don't know. I am fucking stumped. Go ahead, Chris. You answer Brett's question,
I'm
please.
gonna say lawful neutral. Lawful neutral. Jimmy Neutron. Boy genius.
I would have probably gone with, like, neutral good, but lawful neutral could work.
Yeah, he's on the cusp of that, right?
Yeah.
He's some type of neutral because he's.
Lawful could be because he kind of lives by his own, stays to his own.
I was about to say because he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, and he's all.
You know what? I'd say chaotic evil because he purposely keeps around a bunch of stupid friends to make himself feel better about himself.
Well, yeah, and there is that like Nazi.
Just like me, I
that
keep
he
you
has.
around because you're fucking stupid and you make me feel better about myself.
Yeah.
Because the questions you bring to this table
Yeah. Well,
are Jimmy Neutron's alignments.
Listen, I think this is an important question. Who has ever asked that before?
You know what? I'm
I'm sure
physically.
somebody online, probably on Reddit somewhere,
No, they
has
have the
statted
first.
out Jimmy Neutron. So.
I am
Oh my God,
physically
what are his
heated.
stats?
I am physically heated because I am so upset with this. I'm actually sweating. I've been
Wait.
perfectly fine this entire podcast, and I am physically sweating.
What? No, that's because our apartment's hot as fuck.
Oh, that too.
Wait, so if Jimmy Neutron was a roleplay character in D&D, would he have to put all his stats into intelligence? Would he need like extra stat boost?
No,
make
I
up-
think you take
What do you-
away other stats from things like athletics and.
Wait, because he has like fucking tiny arms.
Yeah, he can't hold jack shit.
He's like a
That
baby.
boy probably can't even wipe his own ass. He has to have an invention for that. That was the impetus for him becoming
He has like baby
a
arms and
genius.
legs and like a man-sized head, only like two men.
Like the canary. It's all it comes back around.
Let's say maybe that canary was a genius, a boy genius.
Oh,
That canary's like brain blast and killed Kirkwall. You don't know that. That could have been his brain blast. It's genocide, like the actual Jimmy Neutron.
And I think that'll be the end of this episode of a yet unnamed podcast.
No, okay. Let's talk about this.
Okay. You know what? That's a good idea. Let's do
All right.
this. We've kind of
Let's all
we've
brainstorm.
we've sifted in the shit for a few nuggets of gold.
Yeah.
What have we come up with so far? I still believe that Dab of Salt
is good.
is good.
Can I
Big-headed Canaryman.
mention a name that sounds dumb, but hear me out.
We just talked about Jimmy Neutron's alignments. I think we can handle it.
Butter nuggets.
Okay.
Right? It's almost there.
Continue.
Butter nuggets.
Continue.
What do you think the premise I built this off of was? Because it doesn't exist, but I'm curious to see where you think I got this.
I remember.
It's from nowhere. I'm gonna spoil that for you right now.
That is bullshit. It is absolutely from somewhere. I remember we were in Old Town. I think it was Old Town Sac, looking at candy,
Oh,
and it
fuck!
said butter
That's right.
nuggets. And I remember because I love the word butter nugget, and I remember it being
Yeah.
the most absolutely.
Oh my God.
It is the most insulting pet name you can call someone because
Yeah,
I'm like,
we were
I love
talking-
you.
oh my
I think
God.
you're cute, but you're a fucking nugget and you're greasy because you're like
Yeah.
butter. I mean,
remember that.
it's cute. You'd be like, that's cute. He
No,
called me a
yeah,
butter
no,
nugget.
yeah,
But
no.
that's a really insidious thing to call someone.
Yeah, me and Percy were like in like Old Sac, like getting ice cream, like, and we're like, yeah, butter nugget would be a really fucked up thing to call your partner, like even if you meant it to be cute. It's like a not cute
I
name.
think calling anybody a nugget either implies like they're rocky or kernely or something, or they're really small. So
but like butter seals in like the heart.
Yeah.
You're full of cholesterol, you little nugget.
Yeah. You spherical, disgusting human being.
You fatty piece of chicken breast.
Whoa, we do not say things like breast on this podcast. In fact, I'm gonna bleep that out.
I like butter nuggets.
I think butter nuggets cute, but again,
Because we're the butter nuggets.
Wow, dude, I was just about to say, I don't really want to we just talked about how it's insulting. I don't really want to be known as greasy fat guy.
Dude,
So, we're gonna go listen to the 3 butter nuggets. They're on stage right now. Fucking dirty, greasy fatmen. Sitting there talking about shit.
Dude, have you seen me?
Have you... Well, I mean...
The bags under my eyes are Gucci. Like, I'm a butter nugget. I can do this.
You're not-
I'll own the name.
You can be a butter nugget.
You wear like armor and no one can hurt you.
That only works if
That's
you
why I
didn't-
call myself a failure every day.
Okay, so
So-
dab of salt butter nuggets, Chris. Don't say monkey spit again.
Wait, no. Chris came up with dab salt. What's yours?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Come on. How do you beat butter nuggets and dab salt? Dab a butter nugget. Keep talking.
I don't know. I think you nailed it. Dab a butter nugget. As in dab a butter nugget. As
Yeah.
in dab the grease off
Yeah.
of it.
You dabble being chubby. That's what I do.
It's me, my life every day. Boy howdy, I don't know.
Come on.
I like dab of salt, and I like...
No, you're gonna contribute while I give the sponsorship.
I feel like I have contributed insofar as I bought the mixer and will edit this. That's my contribution.
This episode is also brought to you in part by Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. He owns his own company now called the Boy Genius Enterprises. He has brain blasts for me and you. Give some out at retail. Only $450 a pop.
You guys, you audience
It's
members...
episode 2. No one's gonna vote on this.
well, they don't have to. They're gonna see the title when I post it.
No, we have to fucking... Okay.
We don't have to do that.
I like craft. We're getting onto something.
Butter Nugget Craft.
Oh my god.
So this has been Butter Nugget Craft with
Don't call
your
it
3
that.
boys.
If you actually call it that, I'm gonna be
This
gone
is-
episode 2. Episode 3, it's gonna be fucking like Ashton Kutcher in my place.
This has been Butter
Talking
Nugget
it up.
Craft. We will dab y'all with some salt
Oh my
later
God.
on. Anything else you guys want to say for sign-offs?
That's not our name.
See you guys next week.
Our whole lives are a sin, that's the headspace we're in. It's a dab of salt.